Harry has hit headlines again after he appeared on a podcast and spoke about his father's parenting style and the pain it caused him. The royal didn't stop there, slamming the way the Queen and Prince Philip brought Charles. He and Meghan Markle are now being urged to put their titles into abeyance, in the same way their HRH honorifics were when the Megxi deal was reached, according to reports. The prince is said to have left senior royals baffled by his disgraceful and woeful lack of compassion when he spoke on an episode of Dax Shepard's Armchair Expert podcast. Here, he said Charles had treated me the way he was treated, calling it genetic pain, suggesting that his father had suffered because of his upbringing by the Queen and Philip. Yet, archive reports suggest that while Charles was aware he was different growing up, he didn't grasp the extent to which his life contrasted with the outside world. Robert Jobson, writing in his book, William's Princess, draws parallels between Charles and William, as well as touching on Harry. Looking at William on entering university, he said, "He looked every inch the student prince." He continued, "A far cry from his father's own arrival at university 34 years earlier." Charles arrived at Cambridge, an 18-year-old going on 40, stiff as a board and immaculately turned out in a beautifully tailored suit. He could have been arriving for a job in the city. Vitally, however, Mr. Jobson added, but Prince Charles never really aspired to anything that could have been described as normality in the way his sons did. He knew he was different and just never got it. In contrast, William craved the very privileged version of ordinary life that he had occasionally dipped into during his childhood. As a student he was determined not to stand out. It was a desire that partly lay behind his decision to study at St Andrews. It appears that Mr. Jobson's comments could contrast to Harry's most recent outpouring. The Duke of Sussex left the royal family and UK behind when he and Meghan moved to North America last year in what was dubbed Megxi. He told the podcast he had moved to California with his family to break the cycle of pain he suffered as a member of the firm, adding that he needed to change that for my own kids. Later on, he admitted he first wanted to quit the royal family in his early 20s because of what it did to my mum. Meghan, he said, had encouraged him to have therapy and had herself now concluded, "You don't need to be a princess." The Mail Online described Harry's stint on Armchair Expert as an extraordinary attack on the royal family. It comes just 2 months after he and Meghan accused a member of the royal family of racism towards their son, Archie, as well as failing to help Meghan with her mental health struggles during an interview with Oprah Winfrey. Only a month ago did Harry walk side by side with his brother William at their grandfather's funeral. Aides reportedly told the Mail on Sunday that family members are appalled that he could do this to the Queen when the Duke of Edinburgh is barely in his grave. One anonymously said, "To drag his grandfather into this is so shocking and disrespectful." Another criticized Harry for lecturing people on how to live our lives from his £11 million mansion.